Have you ever felt like one moment could change everything? A single glance, a fleeting touch, or a quiet thought that spirals out of control. This is a story about love, boundaries, and the choices that define us. Stay with me, because this one might just make you question where the line between right and wrong truly lies. Bennett never imagined that a simple family visit would turn her world upside down. She had always been close to her cousin, but time had changed them both. She arrived at his house for a short stay, expecting nothing more than casual family bonding. Yet, from the moment she saw him again, something felt different. He had grown into a man, his presence commanding, his smile effortless. At first, she brushed it off as a fleeting thought. They were family, after all. But as the days passed, she couldn't ignore the way her heart raced whenever he was near. The way he laughed, the way he moved. It unsettled her. One evening, exhaustion took over, and she decided to turn in early. The house was quiet, everyone else already asleep. As she walked past his slightly open door, something made her stop. She knew she shouldn't look, but the briefest glance sent a shockwave through her body. There he was, asleep, vulnerable. The dim light cast shadows over his bare skin. A lump formed in her throat. She should walk away, close the door, forget this moment. But her feet wouldn't move. A war raged within her. One voice screamed at her to leave. The other whispered to stay, to watch just a little longer. Her pulse pounded. This wasn't right. Yet, she stood frozen, torn between guilt and something far more dangerous. Finally, she forced herself to move, shutting her door behind her. But sleep wouldn't come. Every time she closed her eyes, the image of him burned in her mind. Heat crept up her skin, shame washing over her. She tossed and turned, trying to silence the thoughts clawing at her conscience. Morning arrived, but she felt anything but rested. Sitting across from him at breakfast, pretending nothing had happened, was unbearable. Every word, every glance felt loaded with an unspoken tension. Had he noticed her hesitation? Did he feel it too? She told herself she was overthinking, that it was just a moment of weakness. But deep down, she knew the truth. Something had shifted between them, and once a line is blurred, it's only a matter of time before it disappears completely. Days passed, but the feeling wouldn't fade. Bennett tried to act normal, forcing smiles, pretending nothing had changed. But every time she looked at him, she felt that pull. Something dangerous, something she couldn't name. He was still her cousin, still the same person she had known for years, yet he felt entirely different now. Their conversations grew longer, their laughter a little softer. The space between them seemed to shrink with every passing moment. She caught him watching her when he thought she wasn't looking, and each time her stomach tightened. Was he feeling it too, or was she just imagining it? One evening, they found themselves alone in the living room, the rest of the family already in bed. The glow of the television flickered across his face as he leaned back, completely at ease. Bennett tried to focus on the movie, but all she could hear was the sound of his breathing. All she could think about was how close he was. Then, a moment so small, so insignificant, yet it changed everything. His arm brushed against hers. It could have been an accident, but neither of them moved away. Her skin burned where he touched her. Her breath caught in her throat. The air between them grew thick, heavy with something unspoken. He turned to her, his eyes searching hers, waiting, hesitant. Every rational thought screamed at her to stop. to step back before they crossed a line they couldn't erase. But she didn't move. She couldn't. A shiver ran through her as he reached out, his fingers lightly tracing the back of her hand. It was barely a touch, but it sent shockwaves through her body. This wasn't just curiosity. This wasn't just a mistake. This was something else, something that had been building for days, maybe longer. Glance, every accidental touch replayed in her head. But now it felt different. The excitement had faded, replaced by something heavier. What had they done? She avoided him, keeping her distance, hoping space would clear the chaos in her mind. But it didn't. It only made the silence between them louder. He noticed. How could he not? The stolen moments, the unspoken tension, it was impossible to ignore. He tried to talk to her, but she brushed him off, pretending nothing had changed. But everything had changed. Her heart pounded when a family member casually mentioned how close they had become, teasing them without realizing the truth. She forced a laugh, but panic clawed at her chest. Were they that obvious? Had someone noticed? The thought made her stomach twist. She found herself lying awake at night, haunted by the choices she had made. This wasn't who she was. She had never crossed lines, never broken trust like this. And yet, with him, she had thrown all reason away. He caught her alone one afternoon, his expression unreadable. "Are you going to pretend this didn't happen?" His voice was quiet but firm. She swallowed hard, not knowing how to answer. "It was a mistake," she whispered, more to convince herself than him. His jaw tensed. Was it? She wanted to say yes, to put an end to whatever this was. But the truth was, she didn't know. The guilt was suffocating, yet a part of her still longed for him, for the way he made her feel. Before she could answer, a voice called from the other room, snapping them back to reality. They stepped apart, the moment shattered. But the damage had already been done. Someone was watching. Someone new. And soon, the secret they had tried so hard to hide would come crashing down around them. The uneasy feeling never left her. Bennett felt eyes on her, watching, waiting. Every conversation seemed loaded with suspicion. Every glance from her family a silent question she feared answering. It was only a matter of time before the truth slipped through the cracks. Then it happened. A whispered conversation behind a closed door, a hushed voice asking why she and her cousin had been acting so strange. She felt the walls closing in. That evening, the confrontation came. A family member, someone who had seen too much, asked the question she had been dreading. "Is there something going on between you two?" Her breath caught. She searched for an escape, but there was none. He was there too, standing beside her, his face unreadable. She waited for him to deny it, to laugh it off. But he didn't. His silence was louder than any confession. The room felt like it was shrinking, the weight of their mistake pressing down on her, suffocating. There was no way out of this. Shame burned through her as disappointment filled the eyes of the people she loved. She wanted to explain, to say it hadn't meant anything. But the words wouldn't come. How could she explain something she didn't even understand herself? The silence stretched unbearably until someone finally spoke. "You betrayed us." The words cut deeper than she thought possible. That night, she sat alone, staring at the ceiling, wondering how everything had unraveled so quickly. Love, desire, whatever it had been, it had come at too high a cost. Morning came, but nothing felt the same. She knew things would never go back to the way they were. The bond they had with their family was broken, And no matter how much she wished she could undo it, the damage was done. He left first, avoiding her gaze as he walked out the door. Maybe it was for the best. Maybe it was the only way they could move forward. But as she watched him go, she couldn't shake the feeling that a part of her was leaving with him.